Hurts, not a lot good can happen.
Like, he's a natural leader.
I thought overall there were some good things, and really
we just needed that. He gave us that spark.
Kind of gave us a spark as a team.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I bought the ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was
Operative word, wait a minute, because I think a lot of Eagles fans are like, I think we waited too many minutes to get Jalen Hurts in there. You heard Sean Payton, the voice there earlier, basically saying when you let somebody run for 250, what are you going to do? From Payton's perspective, it actually took the attention off his quarterback, the first ineffective performance we've seen from Taysom Hill. But let's talk about the real story on the field yesterday in Philly, and that was the Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. Again, the front office perspective on exactly what the Eagles should be doing moving forward with Mike Tannenbaum coming up here at the bottom of the hour. It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Straight to Doug Peterson after that performance, giving them the, quote, buzzword spark they needed. Next week's matchup for the Birds, literally, Eagles and Cardinals, in the desert. But Peterson will not commit, even after yesterday, to Jalen taking the first snap under center in the desert.
I'm gonna enjoy this one. I'm gonna go home and relax and be with my family tonight and enjoy this win and get ready for the week.
Indeed, we have established, fellas, I can see the smiles on your faces already, that Doug Peterson is a good family man. We like to make sure everybody on the show is one of those things. All right, so here's the deal. No laughs here, right, Jay? This is all serious business. You were the first guy to say they got to go to Hurts earlier, sooner rather than later, later rather than sooner. You called for it. Peterson finally did it. I want to give a shout-out to the Eagles' defense. Peterson said it was a team effort. They had 5 sacks, including 3 in the fourth quarter, that put a ton of pressure on Hill. But you were asking for Hurts out of the gate. You saw it. You got it. Why is there any indecision?
I have no idea, Zubin. Hearing that sound got me so frustrated because I just want Doug Peterson to give this man his flowers. He was electrifying. Multiple people on the team said that there was a different energy on the field. Did you see that pass he threw to the back shoulder of Alshon Jeffries, 4th and 2 in the second quarter, early in the second quarter? It was an incredible pass, right? He kept so many plays alive. And I give you this. Carson Wentz led the league in sacks. 50 times he's been sacked. The next closest player, Russell Wilson, at 40. I walked away last night saying, Jalen Hurts didn't get sacked one damn time. I don't understand. You don't have to say he's going to be your starter, but why can't you say this team plays different? I am proud of the way Jalen Hurts came out today. Even after he fumbled the ball late in the game, the way he recovered, the way our team recovered, it just seemed like Doug Peterson made everything about just the team all the time. And I get that. I know that's coaches speak, but just give this man his flowers. He deserved it against the Saints, one of the best defenses we have in the NFL.
Well, I think, look, I'm not looking for flowers, okay? I'm happy that Jalen Hurts was able to get on the field. I'm happy that he performed at the level that he performed at. You don't want to kick a man when he's down. Giving him his flowers is just stepping on Carson Wentz even more. And I don't think you need to do that. We all know that Jalen Hurts is a starter moving forward, and you're going to take this thing week to week. Next week, you'll come out on Wednesday or Tuesday and say, hey, Jalen Hurts is the starter moving forward when you have your presser. The game is just ended. So I don't believe that he needed to say anything. It speaks for itself. If you watch that game and you don't realize or understand that Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback probably the remainder of the season, then you don't know what you're looking at. You're looking at a guy that accounted for 270-plus yards, one through the air, the other on the ground. It's so funny and ironic, and I was having a conversation with some people yesterday, and they was like, oh, he only threw for $160-something. I said, but he ran for 106. If Carson Wentz had thrown for 270, you would say it's a great game. Now you split, some on the ground, some in the air. It's question marks. I hate that. Those are the sort of things that doesn't make me happy. When I look at how he's getting the yards and people still deflecting and saying, well, it's not through the air. Okay, well, 270 some odd yards is part of your total yardage. Who gives a damn? You got the W, and he'll be the starter next week.
Keyshawn Johnson, you and I have had so many conversations. We make fun of each other all the time. You tell me all the time. Now, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not delicate. I'm not sensitive. Now you're telling me that Doug Peterson is worried about the state of mind of Carson Wentz after they beat the Eagles and they get a huge win? He's thinking about
Well,
that.
I didn't know they could beat the Eagles because they are the Eagles.
The Saints. You know what I mean. Stop it. You know what I mean. Don't try to deflect. You're doing what Doug Peterson does. Stop deflecting. Just tell the truth.
No, look, Jay. At the end, man, you don't. Yes, he's sensitive. He's a quarterback. They're all sensitive. How many times I got to say this to you? Why kick him when he's already down? Don't need to. He knows he was. You don't think it's for 1 minute Carson Wentz was sitting on that sideline going, my days in Philly might be numbered? Of course he was. He can see it. So why kick him when he's already down? There's no need to do that.
You don't have to kick him, but you can at least be supportive of your quarterback that just stepped into a crazy situation and actually handled it exceptionally well.
Yeah.
You don't have to kick somebody while you're down or to build somebody back up, Key. You know, the two aren't mutually exclusive. You know what I mean? You can still do that in a polite way.
That will happen. It didn't happen in the post-game press conference, but it will happen as he addressed everything this week. They'll ask him about Jalen Hurts again, either today or tomorrow, whenever he's scheduled to talk to the media, and he'll give Jalen Hurts some sugar at that time. Everything's calmed down. Now he can talk about Jalen Hurts and how Jalen Hurts performed. He had a chance to watch the film. He has some things to work on. He certainly is headed in the right direction. You know, we want to continue to keep working. All of those code words.
You sound so practical and reasonable. Damn it, Key, this is not who you are. I know who you are inside.
Zoom in. Let's go.
Last word on this, fellas, would be Jake Elliott missed a chip shot 22-yard field goal near the end of the first half. If he had knocked that in, that would have been another scoring drive for Jalen Hurts, because right now with the sample size so small, we're looking at everything. How many passes did he complete? Where is he running? How many drives equaled points? But you can't give him the Jake Elliott because he missed it, but keep in mind a chip shot field goal would have given him another successful scoring drive. Last thing I would just say, the other quarterback, if you watch the 2 touchdown passes that Taysom Hill threw, Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook both had to make unbelievable catches for those to come down as scores, and Taysom Hill looked ineffective for the first time. Drew Brees should be back, and not a moment too soon, fellas. They got the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town on Sunday, and oh, by the way,
City.
Indeed.
Come on, Drew Brees, get back.
And we should also mention that the Saints wake up this morning not in first place in the NFC. Their 9-game win streak comes to an end, and the Packers are now in first. So if the Steelers have a little bit of a skid going, in some ways, so do the Saints in the NFC. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. On the way, what are the Eagles' options short-term and long-term? Plus, is Bruce Arians' short-term evaluation of his team totally right or totally wrong? We'll get into all of that after Key has this.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed.